Hey, what's up? Welcome to episode 4 of Candid Reviews. So this review will cover a well-known book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. So it's this book here. Carol is a widely regarded researcher in the fields of personality, social, and developmental psychology. She is also a professor of psychology at Stanford University and has written one other book, which is called Self-Theories, Their Role in Motivation, Personality, and Development. So I have not yet read this book, but it is on my list because I've enjoyed this book so much, so I figured I would like her other one. So the book Mindset highlights the importance of adopting what is called a growth mindset, and it demonstrates how an individual's mindset plays a crucial part in determining how well they do in life. Now, the first chapter of the book starts off by differentiating between two mindsets. So there is the fixed mindset, which is the belief that your basic abilities, like your intelligence, your artistic talents, or your athletic abilities, are in fact fixed traits and that they cannot be improved upon. Now, a growth mindset is the belief that these abilities, like your intelligence, for example, can actually be developed, and therefore you are able to reach high levels of achievement through this development. Throughout the course of the book, Carol compares these two mindsets and shows us how a fixed mindset is usually the default mindset for people, but also shows us how we can start adopting a growth mindset instead. So, in case it wasn't obvious, the key takeaway from this book is about how to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, one important distinction that is made in this book is that the fixed and growth mindsets are not a dichotomy, but they are instead a spectrum. So no one individual has a completely fixed mindset, nor do they have a completely growth mindset. And it just kind of highlights that the mindset can differ with regard to the situation or the context. So how can you actually tell what mindset you have or are using? So some indications can be that a fixed mindset will make you more concerned with how you'll be judged, whereas a growth mindset will make you more concerned with improving. Because for those with a growth mindset, it's not about immediate perfection. It's more about learning something over time and confronting a challenge and making progress. When people with a fixed mindset opt for success over growth, they are often just trying to prove that they are special and in some cases superior. The passion for stretching yourself and sticking to it even when it's not going well is the hallmark of a growth mindset. And also people with a growth mindset, they don't just seek challenge, they need it and they thrive on it. Now, to actually get from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, so this is the important part. Now, Carol provides some, in my opinion, simple steps in the book that actually help you make the switch to a new way of thinking. So the first step is to listen to yourself. Now, the voice of a fixed mindset will stop you from following the path to success. So, for example, do you ever hear yourself questioning whether you have the skills or the talent for a project? Do you worry that you'll fail and that people will look down on you? Or, like, when you think about taking on a new challenge, do you resist for fear of failing? Perhaps you have received negative feedback and you hear yourself making excuses or blaming others and defending yourself. Now, if you do, you can use thought awareness to combat negative thinking and also highlight where you need to start with making the change toward growth. Now, step 2 is to recognize that you have a choice. Everyone will face obstacles, challenges, and defeats throughout life. But the way you respond to them can make a difference between your success and failure. If you have a fixed mindset, you will see these setbacks as proof that you're just not up for the job. But if you look at them as instead opportunities for growth, you can develop a plan for action, such as learning or working harder or changing your strategy and just trying again. Now, step 3 is to challenge your fixed mindset. Now, when you are faced with challenge and you hear yourself thinking that you'd better not try again, what's the point? You don't have the talent to succeed. Try to remember that you can learn skills to achieve your goals. You may not succeed the first time, so it's good to keep that in mind, but practice will help you develop. So for example, if you're facing a challenge and you think, I'm not sure I can do this, I don't think I'm smart enough, then challenge this fixed mindset by responding with, I'm not sure if I can do it, and I may not get it right the first time, but I can learn to practice. This resets your expectations and makes them more realistic. Now, step 4, which is the final step, is to take action. So when you practice thinking and acting with a mindset of growth, it actually becomes easier to tackle obstacles in a more positive way. Think of it like if you're practicing the violin or learning something new in a sport like most kids do. Nobody does it perfectly the first time. You can't expect to do it the first time. So when you make a mistake, try to see it as a chance to learn. So, like many people growing up, I would set really high expectations for myself. However, mindset has actually played a really important role in what I actually succeeded and failed in. Now, I found when I had a fixed mindset, I would see the goals that I'd set myself as unattainable and often end up not even trying for fear of failing. Now, this was in part due to not wanting to fail in front of people and look stupid, but some of this was by me not accurately assessing my current strengths and weaknesses and what work was actually required to achieve these goals. Whenever I then switched to a growth mindset, I was able to reframe the potential failure as an opportunity to learn, while also being realistic about my current position, my strengths and weaknesses. Now, so to wrap all of this up, this has probably been one of the most influential books that I have read to date. And it is one of those things that you have to constantly work at. You need to constantly be mindful of how you're viewing situations and then reframing your views on those as an opportunity to grow, not as an excuse to give up. This is, in my opinion, absolutely necessary in order for someone to become a better person in whatever way that means to them. So I promise that this book is one that you will not regret reading should you decide to pick it up. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.